Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. We're so glad you could attend. Come inside, come inside. There behind the glass, there's a real blade of grass. Be careful as you pass. Move along, move along. Come inside, the show's about to start. Guaranteed to bring your head along.
And it's Tuesday morning, boys and girls. That's right. It's another edition of the Dave Michaels Sports Show. Coming to you live from the spacious North Texas Sports Network's studios somewhere in Dallas. And because we are enjoying the final days of summer, getting down to fall, a lot of things going on, including football. Special guest going to be on in just a little bit. We're going to bring Cory Procter on with us. Cory Procter used to be with the Dallas Cowboys. He was a offensive lineman. He was also, for those of you that have a pretty good memory of music, he was also a drummer with the heavy metal band called Free Reign. And in that band was also Leonard Davis and Mark Colombo, and they were heavier than metal and all of that. But Cory's going to talk to us about a show coming up on Thursday evening, live from a Lone Star Grill and Sports Cafe in Richardson, Texas, off of Arapahoe and Plano Road, right there on the northeast corner, beginning at 7 p.m. every Thursday night. Come on out to the Lone Star Grill and Sports Cafe and enjoy talking about the NFL, the Dallas Cowboys, and other little tidbits of life. We'll have special guests during the year. Already chomping at the bit to be there is Mark Colombo, the former Dallas Cowboy offensive lineman, the young man out of Boston, Massachusetts, who likes to, you talk about a guy who loves his Boston sports. Talk about a guy who really enjoys talking about the Celtics and the Red Sox and the Bruins. This is the guy we're going to talk to. But he's going to come out. We got Marco Rivera coming out. We're going to have, I'm trying to get Charles Haley to come out. So we're going to have a whole slew of things. But that is going to be Thursday, and we'll talk to we'll talk to Cory about Mark a little bit later in the show, probably around 15 or so minutes from now, so we'll enjoy that. We also are going to talk about the Dallas Cowboys, and they had their first season game against the Giants on Sunday night. Sunday Night Football arrived in Dallas, Fort Worth, specifically in Arlington, at now known as AT&T Stadium, where the New York Giants seem to have had a pretty good successful rate inside that building. For the first 4 years of that building being open, they were pretty good at it. They opened up that building and pretty much took away whatever thunder the Dallas Cowboys had. Since then, we've had some changes, some coaching changes. We've got some guys calling plays. We've got guys calling defense. 6, count them, 6, say it with me, 6 takeaways in that game by the defense. One was returned for a touchdown. The defense truly kept this team where it should have been. The offense, still some question marks, but you know what? They still come out with a win. They win by 5, 36-31. Big question marks, though, are going to be the injuries after week 1, and we're talking about Tony Romo getting his ribs bruised, as they say. That was the official word that came down from on high yesterday, that he had some bruised ribs. And then we also had some ankle tweaks with Des Bryant. We've got other question marks. You know, one of the big question marks I was told was a guy by the name of Terrence Williams. Now, Terrence Williams is from the Dallas area, specifically North Dallas. He went to high school at W.T. White, which is located there near Forest Lane and Midway Road, if you kind of know the North Dallas area. And then he goes off to college, and then he gets drafted by the Cowboys. And to say the least, that he was a little nervous. That you talk about one of the greatest understatements ever talked about. I think the butterflies were so big that they were probably pterodactyls inside his stomach. I don't know if I can't even fathom. I can't fathom what it's like to be in front of 90,000 people screaming their heads off. And you come out on the field, and your family, your friends, your relationships are all there. And, that was impressive. That was an extremely impressive performance, and I'll give credit where credit is due. I think that he dropped a few passes. He did catch one that was really spectacular. I mean, it was really a fantastic catch. And but for the most part, Des Bryant, he's going to have to fill in a big shoe right there when Miles Austin is on the sideline and they call him in, or they have a 3 wide receiver package, and you know that that Dez is going to be double covered. You know that they're going to be standing around looking at Dez, so you're going to be wide open. You might as well be ready for whatever comes your way. And I do believe that Romo, he drilled him one right between the 8 and the 3. I mean, just on the numbers, literally, and he dropped the ball. And when looking at the replay, I saw exactly what he did. When the ball was coming right at him, just before it touched his hands, he turned his head, and he's looking to see where the green was and how much green he had. And there's an old adage in every sport: you got to keep your eye on the ball. That's every sport. It doesn't matter what it is. If you're not watching where the ball is, you ain't gonna catch it. You ain't gonna hit it. You got to keep your eye on the ball. And for young Terrence Williams, I don't think that was the case. They're gonna come up with the Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday. That's game 2. A few years ago, I think it was the 50th anniversary of, in fact, I know it was. So it was around 2011. Or maybe 2010. It might have been 2010. Because that was Miles Austin breakout game. They played the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't know if you remember this or not, but the Kansas City Chiefs, once upon a time ago, used to be called the Dallas Texans in the old American Football Conference. And Lamar Hunt. And they moved to Kansas City, changed their name, they became the Chiefs. And a few years after they did that, by the way, they won a Super Bowl. Super Bowl number 4, to be exact, over the Minnesota Vikings. Hank Schramm, Lenny Dawson, all those guys. And for that particular game, that particular year in 2010, they wore throwback uniforms to represent what the Dallas Texans and the Dallas Cowboys would have looked like had they played. They never did. They never played a game. So to see the uniforms as they were in those days, what would have been the Dallas Texans, because they brought them back, and the Dallas Cowboys, they brought their white helmet back with the blue star. I thought that was really cool. I would really like to see the NFL do that again. When they do these throwback uniforms, as long as they don't bring back the killer bees from the Pittsburgh Steelers or whatever that was, the Philadelphia Eagles wore that one year. Oh, that was horrendous. This is a while back. They wore this baby blue and yellow, and it was supposed to represent Pennsylvania, or the flag, William Penn, and all that. And they were just the ugliest, most horrendous looking things you'd ever seen in your life. They were just horrid, to say the least. I don't know if you've ever seen that. If you have, terrific. If not, well, you're not missing much. Maybe you are. But I'd really like to see the Cowboys and the Chiefs come back in those throwbacks. I thought that was kind of cool. I thought that was a fun looking uniform, and it was a fun game as well. So, what? You got nothing to lose, my opinion. But how did the Cowboys beat the Kansas City Chiefs? By the way, Kansas City dismantled Jacksonville and the Jaguars. Now, here's a thought for you folks. Let's throw this out at you and see where you go with this. What if the Jacksonville Jaguars were to move to, say, L.A.? Think about that for a minute. After what I saw on Sunday with the Kansas City Chiefs, gave them 2 points. They gave them 2 points. And that's all they got. And then Kansas City went and dismantled them. I don't know if that Kansas City Chief team can beat the Dallas Cowboys, though I am still saying, yes, this is an 8-8 team. What I saw against the New York Giants was a team that was fed up with having New York beat Dallas inside their own home. I like the idea that the Cowboys can and should protect their home turf. Okay, let's think about that for a second, shall we? There's only 8 games. There are going to be a game or two on that schedule at home. They might not win. Yet there are teams on the road they should win. So it's a give and take. I still say it's an 8-8 team. I hope I am wrong. But, when I make my prediction, it's because I'm looking at something in training camp. I'm looking at something, elsewhere. But I really do hope I'm wrong. I am not an expert. I never claimed to be one. I never strapped on a helmet or pads and played between the hash marks. Never have. The expert, though, is going to be on in just a little bit, and his name is Cory Procter, and we'll talk to him about his days playing with the Dallas Cowboys. We'll also talk to him about this upcoming show that's going to start on Thursday night out at Lone Star Sports Grill and Cafe. That's at Arapahoe Road and Plano Road. Again, it's a shameless plug. 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. We want you to come out. Bring your Cowboy stuff. He'll sign it. Get pictures taken with him. We were out there. We'll talk to Cory about it in specific in just a bit. But something we'll probably bring up is the fact that I took Cory out there to introduce him to everybody, and the reaction he got. That's kind of, and I'll have Cory talk about that when we bring him on the air in just a bit. Later in the show, we're also going to talk about what happened in the NCAA, the final game between Notre Dame and Michigan, with Michigan winning at the Big House, protecting the Big House, but it was an exciting game. But it's the last time Notre Dame and Michigan play each other. Who's calling who chicken is what I want to know. Who's calling the other team chicken? It's Notre Dame and Michigan is, to me, like Army Navy, USC, UCLA, Texas A&M, which doesn't exist anymore either. So I'm a little disappointed. Also, speaking of Texas, we're going to talk about the demise. My God, the debacle in Provo, the actual plastering in Provo. The BYU Cougars just tore up the Texas Longhorns. And in doing so, Mac Brown made a harsh decision, made a quick decision. Did he make the right decision? As the Texas Longhorns fired Manny Diaz, who was the defensive coordinator. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk a little bit about high school football and some of the surprises, some of the upcoming games. We're also going to talk about Guns and Hoses. That is coming up in a couple of weeks up in Allen and the boxing tournament. We'll talk about that and basically giving you reminders of how to get tickets and all that. We'll also talk a little bit about the Texas Rangers. It's the month of September. It's the sprint now for the final spots for the playoffs, meaning the division title. Because I don't know if the Rangers, if they come in second, will take that wild card spot. I don't see that happening. I think they're going to have to win this division outright. And right now, they're not leading the division. They're within striking distance, but they're not leading the division. And in fact, last night, if you went to sleep and you missed it, the Pirates beat Texas and Yu Darvish 1-0. Rangers got 4 hits on the night. But we'll talk more about that a little bit later as well. So we have a lot to talk about, including bringing on Cory Procter here in just a bit. Stay tuned. We're going to have a lot more for you right here on the Dave Michaels Sports Show. When we come back, Cory Procter is going to be joining us on the air live to talk about all sorts of things. So stick around. This is the North Texas Sports Network. Lone Star. Those 2 words mean so much to Texans. It's a way of life. It's pride. It means quality. Lone Star State Cigars. They understand all that those words mean. Come by one of their 4 locations. 2 in Allen, 1 in Plano, and 1 up in Richardson. See what pride and quality and way of life means. Lone Star State Cigars. You can find them on the web as well at LoneStarStateCigars.com. Way of life, the pride and the quality all under one banner. The Lone Star. Lone Star State Cigars. Once you come in, you'll understand, partner. Spring is in the air, and with that comes the age-old tradition of having the backyard barbecues. When you invite friends over, enjoy the ease and the convenience of serving those friends on items from the Pampered Chef. The catalog is chock full of great outdoor serving items that are built to be used by the grill or by the pool. How about when you have to go to others' houses? It would be nice to be able to transport those delicious dishes with ease. The Pampered Chef. Give Shelly and Danny Wiley a call and let them help you put together your very own Pampered Chef party. Call them at 214-808-7402. Find them on the web as well at pamperedchef.biz/Shelly Can Cook. That's Shelly, Shelley, Can Cook. And see how easy it is to be a part of something fun and useful. There's also a way to help with your school or your charity event as well. Give Shelly a call, 214-808-7402, and start finding the chef in you, the Pampered Chef.
The 78th annual AT&T Cotton Bowl Classic is just 12 months away. Be sure to get your tickets to this American classic by going to the website of the AT&T Cotton Bowl, www.attcottonbowl.com, and reserve your seats for next year's game. What a great gift idea for the sports fan in your family. Enjoy the atmosphere of college football in one of the premier stadiums in the country, Cowboy Stadium in Arlington. The 78th AT&T Cotton Bowl Classic next January of 2014. Don't miss it.
Right back here on the Dave Michaels Sports Show. And it's a Tuesday morning. And as promised, I've got number 71 in your program, number 1 in your heart, the man from Montana, the former offensive lineman for the Dallas Cowboys, played a little bit for the Miami Dolphins, but plays a mean set of drums when he's not doing anything else. Cory Procter joining us on the air. Cory, good morning.
Hey, yo. Good morning. What's going on?
How you doing, young man?
Hey, I'm fantastic. The sun is shining. I'm sitting here doing some schoolwork, talking to you guys. It's a good day.
It's a good day in the neighborhood, isn't it?
That's right.
Hey, Cory, let me first of all ask very quickly. When you and I first started talking about doing a show together, I got to tell people he was all over this. This was something he says, okay, when are we doing it? When are we doing it? So now that it's about a couple of days away, are the butterflies still there?
But they are. This is my first opportunity to actually be a co-host, actually be a part of the show, and not just a guest on it. You know, so I'm a little nervous about this. I got to see if I can nail this on the head. I got to follow other counterparts here for this.
Oh yeah. Don't worry about the big shoes that you're going to fill.
Hey, these are Pro Bowl guys I'm following right now. Andre Gerard. I mean, shoot, I got big shoes to fill, but I think I can fill those just fine.
I think you can.
I wear 14.
I think you can fill them well. Listen, I was telling people just before I brought you on. I was telling people I took you out to the location where we're going to be doing this at. It's called the Lone Star Grill and Sports Cafe. It's over off of Arapahoe and Plano Road. We want you all to come out. But I took Cory out there last week to kind of introduce him to people and what have you. And normally, and I'm not too unproud to say this, I'll pepper the crowd with people that I know and tell them to be there. But I didn't have the time to do that. It was a last second thing, and I just brought Cory out. And Cory, you need to tell people how the reaction was when you walked into the room.
It was pretty nice. I got a really good response. A lot of people recognized me right away. So I had a lot of folks coming up asking for autographs and pictures and just wanted to talk. So it was a lot of people were already excited for the show. So there's a pretty good buzz going on about it. So it was really good. Yeah, and the buzz continues. We're getting a lot of responses. I know off of Twitter and Facebook, a lot of people are saying that they plan on coming out. The cool thing about having Cory Procter on the show with us is, first of all, Cory's not paid by the NFL or the Dallas Cowboys anymore. So what does that mean? That means he can say what he wants. That's That's right. I don't have to be politically correct anymore.
No.
I got an emotion. I can show it.
There you go. Cory, let's talk a little bit about the show itself. You and I are just going to have a conversation. We're going to talk a little X's and O's about the Dallas Cowboys and about how the game went, the previous week, and we'll talk about the upcoming game. But more importantly, we'll talk a little bit about the NFL. And when we do bring some of your friends out, you've already made contact with people like Mark Colombo and Mario Rivera and all that. So, Marco Rivera, when you bring them out, I was trying to make him a pitcher all of a sudden. I don't know why, but when you bring these guys out, we'll not only talk about football, but we'll talk about life after football. What goes on as an NFL ball player that has left the game, and how do you prepare yourself for that once you decide to hang up the cleats and hang up the pads? And I think that's going to be kind of interesting. And I know you've already made contact with a couple of your friends.
Oh yeah, well they're excited about it too. We make, just like in any workplace, you make some great relationships when you're playing, and obviously you're putting the work in together. You develop a pretty close bond and friendship. So a lot of these guys are my close friends. We hang out still all the time. But they have lives. They're retired. They kind of not necessarily settled down. They might have active lives still, maybe with broadcasting or whatever venture they're after now. But they'll have families and kids, and we're all like you and I, man. We have lives and we enjoy each other, and it's not like these guys are up on pedestals and so far fetched that they're totally different. So what interests a lot of people is that we're just the same. We're just people. We lead regular lives and have families and love our kids and dogs, and it's what we do. So you'll talk about a lot of what these guys are doing now and what they're doing in life and contributing back, to society, I guess.
Well, at least you're not on a work release program. At least that's good.
No.
But
and even then, you'll hear about some the effects of football afterwards, because a lot of these guys, including myself, have had surgeries or the after effects of ball, and what how it's come to affect them and their families, and what they've had to deal with it according to that.
And after football, there are adjustments that you have to make. I mean, your body clock has a certain. I mean, you've been playing football since you were a child, and so your body clock gets into a mode. And when you leave football, does that body clock ever shut down?
There's trends in both directions. You see guys, especially linemen, in the crowd that I hang out with. You can either see them go off the deep end where they stop working out, but they keep eating like they're like they've been, and they gain a bunch of weight and get fat, and unhealthy. Or what I've seen around me is the biggest trend is guys. They love the guys I've always hung out with. They love to work out. The Mark Colombos of, the Marco Riveras, those kind of guys. They love to work out, so they continue that trend, and they want to lose weight because they want to be fit and healthy. Yeah. So,
and you still
they get rid of that extra stuff.
Cory still looks like he could put on some pads and go hit somebody. I'll tell you that right off the bat. Now, to take out some frustrations, I know you like to play the skins, and I'm talking about the drums. And how long have you been playing drums? I don't remember asking you that question ever before, and you and I have known each other for a number of years, but how long have you been playing drums?
Well, I started in grade school when I was back in the percussion section there. It was just kind of funny. Actually, I like the story of how I came to play them was, they had the music program back in grade school when they're trying to get kids to learn an instrument and just kind of broaden the horizons. And I remember my class, they funneled us all into this small room with a whole bunch of instruments, and they had one guy in there, and he would give you about 30 seconds to choose an instrument and try to make a sound with it. And based on, this is totally flawed. You look back at it, it's totally flawed, but he'd give you about 30 seconds. All right, what do you want to play? And I remember I wanted to play the saxophone, man, because I imagined like wearing the sunglasses and looking cool and playing some blues and stuff.
I got live vision of that too, by the way.
I was still look cool with this, man. But he goes, all right, set up the sax. He goes, all right. So he gives me about a 15-second tutorial on how to blow onto the reed and make some noise. Well, the best I can make was like honking sounds, like a duck, like a goose. He goes, all right. He goes, I'm going to put you in the percussion section.
Yeah, it's safer there.
Yeah, right.
Well, I'll tell you.
Way of default.
Well, I'll tell you that you and I traveled a little bit of a similar path because I played the drums as well when I was in school. But before I played the drums, I learned to play the piano when I was very young. And then I played the violin. Then I went to the drum section. Well, because I could read music, I became a percussionist. Now that means you get to play anything that you can strike, like bells and chimes and xylophones and vibraphones. Did I ever play the drums? No. I played everything else but the drums.
Yeah, I was a noisemaker.
I know. That's what we call ourselves. We call ourselves noisemakers. That's right. Now, marching season was a different story. When we were in the marching band, that was a different story altogether. I got to play the drums there. But, everything else, concert band, orchestra, whatever, it was, no, Dave, you can read music. Go sit in the percussion section. Oh, damn. So, but that's all right. And then I found out, and then my parents wanted me to get a quieter hobby, Cory, so I became a photographer because the girls got better looking. At least that was my story. I was sticking with it. And then I found out
that's a smart route. That's all right.
Yeah, and then I found out a microphone was a lot lighter than a camera, so I became a broadcaster. So, life as I know it ended early. But in any case, we're talking to Cory Procter. Cory, you and I are going to be doing a show this Thursday night and every Thursday night from the Lone Star Grill and Sports Cafe. I'm going to get the name right eventually. And it's located at Arapahoe and Plano Road, and it starts at 7 p.m., goes to 8, and we encourage you to bring your Cowboy memorabilia, paraphernalia, whatever it is. I promise you, Cory will sign autographs, won't you, Cory?
Absolutely.
There you go.
Hey,
Good answer.
Come out to do it, though.
Say again?
They got to come out to do it. You
That's right.
Be out there for me to sign something. Let's go.
That's it. You physically got to be there to bring the stuff so Cory can sign it. Cory will take pictures. We'll even give you a kind of a Coke crate or something to stand on so you're at least the same height as Cory. What, you're 6'5", right?
Yes.
6'5". But you
ready to go.
But you outweighed your buddy Andre. I just want people to know that.
I outweighed him?
Didn't you? Or were you lighter than he was?
What was Andre? Andre was typically, he was around like 320 or something.
315.
315. Okay, so we're about the same. I hung around between 310 315. We're about the same.
He was
pretty significantly stronger. This guy could bench the world now.
And we'll talk about Andre as well because Andre and I did a show for 3 years and we brought Cory on as a guest and I liked it so much I said let's do a show together. Let's make it happen. I had to wait till you walked away from the game to do it.
That's right. I don't know because we click so well or people like the weird personality. I don't know. Let's go with whatever's good, I guess. Huh?
I'll stick with the weird personality. I'm good with that.
I'm okay with that too.
Cory, I'm going to let you get back to what you were doing, which was studying. You have classes.
Yeah.
He's trying to graduate from the University of Montana, which is good for
right. I didn't finish my degree, so right now I'm finishing classes and finishing my degree in psychology, and it's pretty interesting stuff. So.
Yeah.
Hopefully I become smarter out of this whole thing.
Maybe so. Let me ask you a real quick question because I'm going to ask you this Thursday night again, so it's going to be a repeat question on Thursday. Your major of psychology, is it going to be specifically sports psychology or just psychology in general?
Psychology in general. That's my undergrad right now, so
okay.
I hadn't finished when I came out, so I got to take care of it now. I got to do it for my kids one day so they don't hold that against me, you know what I'm saying?
Or basically you're smarter than they are.
Exactly. That's the whole plan. I got to stay one step in front of my kids.
Exactly. And by the way, while I got you on the air and on the phone, just say hi to your wife real quick.
My beautiful wife Megan.
Yeah.
She's hanging out. She's giving me the look all the time. I know she is.
That's okay.
She's beautiful. I love her. She supports the hell out of me, so it's good.
Hopefully she'll come out Thursday night and cheer us on. I'd like to say hi to her.
She'll be there.
Outstanding. Thursday night, Lone Star Grill and Sports Cafe. That's at Arapahoe and Plano Road on the northeast corner. Cory Procter, myself, Silver Flash, Blue Thunder. Make sure you're there. Cory, we'll see you Thursday, and thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Hey, thanks, Dave. We'll see all you guys there.
All right, my friend. Thank you again.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Cory Procter, the man, the myth, the legend. Gotta love it. I'm so excited about having him on. It's almost disgusting. Let me tell you, he's a great guy, and I'm really looking forward to it. And make sure you make plans to come out Thursday night, 7 to 8 p.m. Lone Star Grill and Sports Cafe. That's going to be at the corner of Arapahoe and Plano Road. Be there, be square. We know how it all works out. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about those things that are of interest, like the University of Texas, Texas A&M, some high school, and a lot more. Coming your way right here on the Dave Michaels Sports Show from the NTSN studios.
Sorry to bother you, but I'm looking for my daughter. I tried her cell phone, but I keep getting her voicemail. Is she here?
She was, but the girls borrowed my car, and they said they were going to spend the night at your house. Let me find out exactly where they are.
How?
By logging on to my Locate One Plus GPS tracking system.
Locate One Plus?
Yeah. When the kids started driving, I wanted to protect the two most valuable things in my life, my family and my car. Thanks to Locate One Plus, I just log on using a computer or smartphone, and it shows me where my car is, real time, and where it's been. I found them. They've been at the movie theater since 7:50.
Wow, I really need to get Locate One Plus.
Call Locate One Plus now at 800-259-3854. Protect your family and vehicle from danger and theft with Locate One Plus real-time speed and location monitoring. Call now for your free information. 800-259-3854. That's 800-259-3854.
Remember when you were in high school? The after-the-game parties, the dances that were held in the school gym? Well, those days are long gone, just like saddle Oxfords and bobby socks, but the partying, well, that continues. A reminder that it is still against the law to drink while underage. There's a reason why lawmakers put the legal age to drink at 21. It's to protect you from yourself. It's hard enough that adults drink and drive. Why put yourself in danger? Don't drink and drive. It could save a life. Yours. A message from the Ad Council and Dave Radio Productions.
Casa, translation, house, home. A new casa, a new home for Mexican food, right along the service road of the President George Bush Turnpike and Jupiter Road. Casa Cha-Cha. All your favorites are there, along with Pollo a la Parrilla, which is their grilled chicken with 3 different sauces to choose from. Their fajitas are tender and juicy. Their enchiladas are just how Mama used to make them. Stop by and say hello to Ruben and Rosa. They will welcome you into their casa and make you feel right at home. Casa Cha-Cha, 190 in Jupiter on the eastbound service road, next door to Renegade Cigars. Right back here on the Dave Michaels Sports Show, and I want to thank again our special guest, Cory Procter, for joining us. It's always fun, and like I said, we're going to be doing the show on Thursday nights, so make sure you come out and enjoy it and have fun with it. And, like he said, if you don't show up, you can't get anything signed and have your picture taken with them. That's half the fun. Actually, that's the most fun. I enjoy it. I get a kick out of it. I think you ought to come out and enjoy it as well. By the way, I don't know if anybody saw it or not this morning, but I have been seeing nothing but photos all over Facebook. The sunrise this morning was just absolutely breathtaking. I don't know if anybody got a chance to get up early enough to see it, but for a 10th of September, the clouds were perfect. The sun hit it just right, and it was absolutely gorgeous. So if you didn't get a chance to see it, then you missed out on something. Okay, let's talk about something real serious. Let's talk about the University of Texas for just a second. Those of you that know me and know me well know that they're my Longhorns. I live and die and breathe them and live by it. They got their butts kicked They absolutely got blown away by the BYU Cougars. And in the aftermath of that game, Mac Brown decided to do something that some of us, some Longhorn fans, some Orange Bloods, whatever you want to call them, thought that this was probably something that should have been done a year ago. You know, they lost the original defensive coordinator because he went to the University of Florida and became their head coach. And in doing that, the Longhorns hired a guy named Manny Diaz. Now, I remember a couple of years ago talking to Mac Brown at the media days for the Big 12 and asking him specifically, having an opportunity to talk to Mac specifically and asking him, what does Manny Diaz bring to the table? And his answer then was his schemes and his defensive planning for game day is what they really wanted. It didn't work against Oklahoma last year, as Oklahoma run up 60-plus points. It sure as hell didn't happen last Saturday when they played against the BYU Cougars, and a quarterback ran for over 270 yards. Really? Seriously? BYU just tore Texas a new one. And in doing so, Mac Brown calls Manny Diaz, and he watched the film all overnight, Saturday night, and into Sunday morning. And Sunday around, I guess it was right around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, he calls Manny Diaz into the office, sits him down in the big chair, and says, we're promoting you to fan. Get the hell out of here. You're done. You're gone. And in doing so, UT brings back a former defensive coordinator. He worked in the NFL. He worked at a couple of colleges, Syracuse, as a matter of fact. Now he's the defensive coordinator. I don't know about the rest of you, but it's for Texas. It all comes down to a simplistic thing of do they beat Oklahoma, and do they get revenge on the fine folks at TCU, for those of us who remember that. Okay. I'm getting messages from people, and that's okay. That's fine. Wasn't the message I was expecting, but that's okay, nonetheless. And you can find us, by the way, on Facebook. If you want to find us on Facebook, you can do so at facebook.com/DAV radio and find us there. And we'd love for you to, friend us if you want, or just chat with us, however you want to do it. It doesn't matter. You can ask questions as well. Where was I? I was talking about Texas. That was an interruption. I didn't mean to have that kind of an interruption, but it happens. But in changing now, Texas is going to play Ole Miss on Saturday. A young man out of Skyline. In fact, this is going to be kind of interesting. Texas has a young man out of Skyline named Mike Davis. He's the wide receiver, and he's going to be going up against on the opposing offensive side a young man by the name of Devon Kincaid. And Kincaid was the quarterback for the Skyline Raiders, who, when he was a sophomore, was throwing bullets to Mike Davis. And now Mike Davis was a senior, and Mike Davis is now at the University of Texas. So it's going to be kind of fun to see how that works out. But again, that'll be Saturday. Also, this Saturday, Texas A&M will play their third game. This is not Rice that they're going to face. This is not Sam Houston State that they're facing. This is the team, however, that a year ago solidified Johnny Manziel as the Heisman Trophy winner. This one game is the one that solidified Johnny Manziel as the front runner over all those other guys, Manteo and Geno Smith and all those other guys that were hyped. This now is the game that made a statement of him being a Heisman Trophy winner, playing against the Crimson Tide of Alabama, or as Keith Jackson used to say, Alabama. In any case, Johnny Manziel and the Texas A&M Aggies will be at Kyle Field, taking on the Crimson Tide and Nick Saban. Now, by the way, there was a rumor that Nick Saban had come to Austin. This was yesterday. There was a rumor that started that said that Nick Saban had gone to Austin to talk to the University of Texas. That quickly got pulled by both Sports Illustrated, because that's where the story was. The Associated Press, they pulled the story as well. DeLoss Dodds and Mac Brown quickly denied the fact that Nick Saban was even in the city limits of Austin, and that the rumors were just that, they were rumors. This goes back, by the way, I had this conversation with a young man who I affectionately called the Young Squire. His name is Todd Kaufman. And Todd and I have had this conversation that social media today, Twitter, Facebook, Google+, Instagram, whatever you want to call it. Like I really know what the hell I'm talking about right now. But those things will get you in trouble as a media person. A person who's a journalist. As a journalist, you're like an investigator. You really are. You're like a police officer. You're like a police investigator, a detective. You find out all the facts. You find out all the truths before you go and say something. So here's Twitter blowing up yesterday saying Nick Saban's going to Austin to talk to the University of Texas. Yeah, there was a couple of words there that I was going to cover. It never happened. I saw the report, and I couldn't imagine him actually doing it. But SI, Sports Illustrated, and the Associated Press, Orange Blood, we're all saying the same thing, and it's like, oh, no. Let's get our facts straight, and let's get it right. Let's make sure that we know what we're talking about before we go forward with this crap. Nothing happened. Nick Saban wasn't in Austin. He'll be in College Station, but he's not going to be in Austin. What in that world would he do there anyway? Any case. So, again, Texas A&M's taking on Alabama Saturday at Kyle Field. And let me ask you, don't you really think that Alabama has got a big old target written all over Johnny Manziel's back, and they're going to just kind of unleash holy terror on him? That's what I'm thinking. You know, you think Johnny Football, you think you can repeat. I don't think so. Another big win over on the hilltop, by the way, at SMU. They're now in that American Athletic Conference, or the AAC as they call it. I should have asked Cory about this, because this is alma mater. Got beat. SMU. I shouldn't have done that. SMU wins over Montana, and a big win at the hilltop. Very big win for June Jones. And when they start getting into conference play here in just a bit, it'll show. UNT and Conference USA they're really going to shine. However, Oklahoma State goes down to San Antonio and takes on the University of Texas San Antonio, the Roadrunners, at the Alamo Dome, and dismantled them. But it was a good showcase. I will say this: it was a great showcase for the Roadrunners to go up against Oklahoma State in a Big 12 opponent like that. And even though you lost, they still put points on the board. Don't get me wrong. The Roadrunners still hung, I think, a 28 or a 35 point on their side, but Oklahoma State outscored them, obviously. But I'd still say that was a pretty good showing by the Roadrunners. The other game, though, that was not so much of a big showing, and there's some question marks. Yeah, Bob Stoops up at Oklahoma. The Sooners taking on West Virginia, a Big 12 opponent early in the season. I'll give them credit. They played in Norman. They beat West Virginia, but at what cost? Because you lost your starting quarterback. Now you're going back to the guy who should have been the starting quarterback. So here you go again with the back and the forth. And this is going to be one of those things that you got to keep an eye on, especially in Oklahoma, and especially with how things work out there. So we're gonna keep an eye on that. When we come back, we're going to talk a little high school. We'll talk a little guns and hoses. We're going to talk a little bit of this, a little bit of that. All coming your way right here on the North Texas Sports Network and the Dave Michael Sports Show.
Hi, this is Dave Michaels.
And this is Doc Morefield.
Join us for Richardson ISD Sports. We cover all 4 high schools in the RISD.
Catch football, basketball with the Berkner Rams, the Lake Highland Wildcats, the Richardson Eagles, and the Pierce Mustangs. We have it all for you right here on Dave Radio Productions.
All you have to do is log on to davradioproductions.com and click to listen to any game live or archive. So come on, what are you waiting for?
If you missed the game, that's all right. You can go back and listen to any broadcast all year long on davradioproductions.com. The one place to hear it all.
Dave Radio Productions, our business is to drive business to your business.
Football fans, now you have something to wear that shows off your team spirit. It's not a shirt. It's not your average hat. This is a Spirit hat. It's shaped like a star, but it also doubles as a beverage and food tray. The Spirit Star hat is unique that not everyone has one, at least not yet, but they are available online at SpiritStarHat.com. That's SpiritStarHat.com. Order yours today so you can have it by game day, and a portion of every purchase is being donated to the Gridiron Heroes Foundation. So wear something cool, help those that forge this great game of football, and cheer on your favorite team, the Spirit Star Hat.
Autumn. The sound of that word conjures up images of leaves changing colors, crisp chill in the evenings, pumpkins, and pigskin. Yep, it's football season once again. And what better way to tailgate than with cooking items from the Pampered Chef? The ease in which you can order and the quality of the products are almost too good to be true. And since it is that time of season when high schools and boosters are looking for ways to raise money, check out Pampered Chef's charity and fundraising. It's much more than just selling wrapping paper or popcorn. Pampered Chef delivers quality products that are used day in and day out for your home. Call Shelley Wiley at 214-808-7402 for more information, or email her at shelleycancook@yahoo.com. Let's bring out the chef in you, the Pampered Chef.
You're in business, you have your business plan, and you have executed it. However, you're missing something that will drive business to you. What could it be? Well, it might be your website. That's right. You realize you have the domain name, you know you have the information on it, but is it really connecting to your buying public? Hi, I'm Dave Michaels. I know about small business and I know about marketing. And the most important part of promotion and marketing your business is getting the word out. Your website is an extension of your marketing. So let Business Computers help you. They're Texas born and Texas raised, and they know what it takes to help businesses be successful. Give them a call and let them be a part of your team. Business Computers Incorporated, 713-229-0030. That's 713-229-0030. Business Computers Incorporated. Find them on the web at businesscomputersincorporated.com. Business Computers Incorporated. On a crisp September morning in New York, people were making their way to work in office towers that stretched into the sunshine where no one was expecting it to be their last moment on earth. Police officers going about their daily routines, firemen getting prepared for their shifts, then out of nowhere an airliner smashes into the landmark known as the World Trade Center. What seemed like moments later, another one goes into the North Tower, and all of a sudden the nation realizes it's under attack. A third airplane dives into the Pentagon, and yet another plane was overtaken by passengers who sacrificed their lives so that others may live. In all, 4 planes, over 3,000 dead, and our country, for that moment, on September the 11th, 2001, stood still. But it did not take long. We learned quickly what kind of a nation we are. We are strong, we are united, and we are the land of the free and the home of the brave, and we will continue to do so. For this is America, our home, our land. And as our fathers before us said, don't tread on me. We salute those men and women in uniform, and we remember our first responders, and on this day, we thank them with our hearts. You keep us safe, and all we can say is simply thank you.
And tomorrow will be the 12th anniversary of 9/11 and the devastation that this country took when aircraft were used as flying rockets and missiles, and we remember that horrible, horrible, horrible day. And in response to that, the first responders, the Port Authority police officers, the New York fire departments, the workers at the Pentagon, and even the flight attendants and the flight crews of those airliners. The 21st of this month, September 21st, Guns and Hoses, their first responders, the police and the fire, will put on the gloves and they'll fight for officers and firefighters who have lost their lives in the line of duty. And as we spoke to our friend Lieutenant David Swavey a few weeks back, this is as important of an event because we do care and we do take care of those who are left behind. And the Guns and Hoses Foundation of North Texas, they rush in immediately upon hearing of a fallen officer or a fallen firefighter, and they immediately hand the family a check worth $10,000. It's got to cover the bills. It's got to cover expenses that they're not expecting. It's a horrible time. And I realize that we're talking about, well, you're giving money. We're giving support. And this organization is there to support the families. And then they embrace those families. And they keep those families close by. And they take care of that. So on September the 21st, if you don't have any other plans on that Saturday night, come on out to the Allen Event Center and catch the 12th annual Guns and Hoses Boxing Tournament. Tickets available right now. If you want to get those tickets, you can do so by going to Guns and Hoses North Tex, that's TX.org. You got to spell it all out. Guns and A-N-D, Hoses North Tex, TX.org, and you can get your tickets there. And also, if you want, you can get tickets at the firehouses and the police departments that are participating in the Guns and Hoses. Or if you want to wait till the event itself, come up to the Allen Event Center, take the box office. We'll have tickets there as well. And I will tell you, if you've never been to one of these events, you don't know what you're missing. It's a lot of fun, high energy, and a lot of guys that are doing this because they know what it's all about. And also, on the 26th of October, they strap on helmets and pads, and they go fight each other in a different type of arena. It's called the Gridiron. Guns N' Hoses Pigskin Championship 3 at the brand new named, yes, they renamed the stadium. It went from FC Dallas Stadium to the Toyota Stadium. Yes, Toyota's bought the naming rights to FC Dallas' stadium in Frisco. And I just read recently where the city of Dallas is looking for someone to do the naming rights. Let's follow Jerry Jones, shall we? Let's just walk right into this one. Jerry Jones got AT&T to make the naming rights for that stadium. It's now known as AT&T Stadium instead of, what? Yes, Cowboy Stadium. So now, the Cotton Bowl people, the city of Dallas, says, let's have someone buy the naming rights to the Cotton Bowl, the building. Really? You only play a handful of games there. Texas OU being the biggest one. I know Grambling and Prairie View A&M, they play there. But the other teams that you wanted to play there are playing at AT&T Stadium. They're playing in the Dome. Can't figure them out. I truly can't. Okay, I'll get off that tirade for a bit. So high school games you want to watch out for. The defending state champions, the Allen Eagles, are coming to Richardson to take on the Richardson Eagles. So yes, boys and girls, we're talking about birds that flock together or fly together, I guess. But anyway, case they're going to play on Friday night at Eagle Mustang Stadium in Richardson. We'll have that game for you right here on the North Texas Sports Network. By the way, last year. The Richardson Eagles helped open up the brand new facility in Allen, that huge stadium that they built, the $64 million stadium that they built in Allen. They lost 57 to something, and the sad thing about it is the whole debacle is last week the Richardson Eagles they looked good for a little bit, and they went right out the window. What can I say? They played against the Frisco Wakeland Cougars. I'm sorry, the Wolverines. Did I say Cougars? Wolverines. And Wakeland just tore them a new one. So we'll see how Allen fares against the Allen Eagles, or see how Richardson handles the Allen Eagles this Friday night. Something else happening right now, and I want to touch on this for just a little bit because I can, I shall, and I will. There's some turmoil going on at a high school that is my alma mater here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I went to Skyline High School, and Skyline's produced some major people. Larry Johnson, who played for the Charlotte Hornets and the New York Knicks. C.J. Miles, who plays for the Utah Jazz. Some Alan Rawson, who played at one time for the Atlanta Falcons, came out of Notre Dame, played for the Cowboys for a short time. So Skyline has had their share of having major athletes and major individuals. Nora Jones and Erica Badu are also from there. Perry Gilpin, who played Roz on Frasier, she was from Skyline High School. Daryl Dodd, country and western singer, country western artist, he's from there as well. Brian Klein. Just to name a few. But right now, they're having a major problem with their athletic department. It seems that it's come to light that Stafford Hill, who is the basketball coach at Skyline, who was brought in after Skyline had fired a longtime head coach of the basketball team, who developed and produced Larry Johnson and C.J. Miles, by the way. Just to give you a couple of names. The guy spent 33 years at Skyline, won 698 games. They didn't even wait till he got the 700th game before they said, see ya. They fired head coach J.D. Mayo. And in the process of firing J.D. Mayo, the city of Dallas, the Dallas School Board, and the Dallas Independent School District decided, hey, we're going to build a competitive gymnasium on campus at Skyline High School, and we're going to name it for J.D. Mayo. Oh, wait a minute, we fired your butt. They still named it for J.D. Mayo. Rightfully so, by the way. But Stafford Hill gets fired, and he claims that he was released because he didn't play Harold Wrights, who's the principal of Skyline High School, his son, who played basketball. He claims that he was fired because he didn't play the young man enough minutes in a game. Or at times he would sit him down and not start him. And in the process of all this, he was fired. Now, I'm sitting here thinking about, I'm not a conspiracy theorist here. What I am, though, is a realist. And the reality of this is simple. I think J.D. Mayo was released because he wouldn't go out and recruit. He would not go out to Irving and recruit those basketball players that we hear about at Kimball and other schools, which gets you in trouble with the UIL to begin with. So they fire him for that. Then Hill gets fired because he doesn't play Wright's child enough times or enough minutes. I really think the big problem here is not so much Mr. Wright, even though he's the one that hires and fires you. I really think the problem is Reginald Samples, who's the head coach and the athletic director at Skyline High School. And I do believe that if you want to direct your cameras and direct your microphones and direct your investigation, that's where it starts. It starts there. And then it trickles down. And Mr. Wright is the final say. He hires you, he fires you. And I'm thinking, with a little bit of influence, Mr. Samples is the one really behind it all. And think about that for a minute. And we're going to keep on that story, by the way. We'll follow it. We'll keep up with it. Because I do believe there's an issue here. And I really want to make sure that I'm right. Because I don't want to be wrong. That's not good journalism anyway. In the meanwhile, we got to put this one in the history books. I want to thank Cory Procter for joining us. Don't forget Thursday night, the 12th, you can come out to the Lone Star Grill and Sports Cafe and be a part of Silver Flash and Blue Thunder with Cory Procter and myself. It's at 7 p.m. We expect to see you there because we want you there. It's that simple. For all of us involved, we appreciate it. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week. Same bad time, same bad channel right here on the Dave Michael Sports Show. So long.